चलो ओके।
Yeah, good morning, Prashant sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Sandhya.
Yes, I am Sandhya from Vidyalankar Polytechnic. Sir, shall we start?
We can start.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, participants. Once again, I welcome you for Faculty Development Program on NEP 2020. The topic for today's session is National Research Foundation and Special Education Zone. And our speaker is Dr. Prashant R. Nair, sir. He is working as a Vice Chairman, IQAC, and Associate Professor of Computer Science and Engineering of Amrita School of Engineering, Amrita Viswas Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore, India. He has over 20 years of teaching, research, mentoring, training, consultancy, and academic administration experience. He has also taught in academic programs in USA and Europe at the University of California, San Diego, and Sofia University, Bulgaria as Erasmus Mundus Fellow. Has also written 6 books, 2 edited books, 1 book chapter, and over 50 publications in reputed journals, books, and conferences. He has mentored students' team which have won premier international and national competitions like Smart India Hackathon, Rajasthan Hackathon, TCS Digital Twin Challenge, and represented India as a part of National Hackathon team for Singapore India Hackathon and felicitated by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi. He has also been ranked as a top innovator mentor in India by Atal Innovation Mission and coordinates AIM activities at Tamil Nadu as regional mentor of change. He has been serving as the chairman, vice chairman, coordinator of Amrita Deemed University's internal quality assurance cell since 2009. He has coordinated 3 cycles of NAC accreditation, NBA accreditation, NIRF ranking, and also served as UGC nodal officer for university. A very sought after speaker by conservative estimates has addressed around 1,50,000 students and trained around 10,000 faculties on technology, innovation, professional bodies, and quality aspects of higher education. So welcome Prashant sir. On behalf of Vidyalankar Polytechnic, we welcome you. Over to you, Prashant sir. You can share your screen.
Yeah, thank you, Sandhya madam. Thank you, Pratik ji, coordinator of the seminar. Esteemed participants, namaskar. Very good morning to all of you. So let me just share my slides. Today, the topic that has been given to me is focusing on 2 major aspects. That is the National Research Foundation and the Special Education Zone, which are 2 very important and prominent aspects of the new education policy. So before I get into I know there has been many seminar talks on this thing, but I'll just do a quick overview of national education policy. Now, आप लोग सब कोई स्कूल या यूनिवर्सिटी से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो आप लोग सब कोई फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं, तो इस न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी से आपको क्या डिफरेंस होता है, आपको क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा, इसके बारे में आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट टू स्पीक to you. तो अभी इंडिया इज अ वेरी फ्रैगमेंटेड एजुकेशन सिस्टम. इंडिया में थोड़ा सा ये ब्रिटिश राज का एक क्या बोलते हैं एक वेस्टीज है अपना जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम, और ओवर रेगुलेशन का एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. Now, the basic problem in India is that we are over-regulated. We have multiple statutory, regulatory, affiliating bodies that are governing higher education. And if you ask me, the greatest or the biggest intervention of the national education policy will be that it will unify all these diverse statutory and regulatory bodies into one single regulator. That's the biggest takeaway, the game changer, if you ask me, as far as the national education policy is concerned. There is some talk. Please, can you mute everybody?
Parents are unwilling to pick up the phone.
Yeah, so that is the kind of the greatest takeaway, if you ask me, from a university or a school teacher perspective, is that we are going to have a single regulator for everything. The single regulator will take care of the higher education, the school education. All these artificial lines will be changed. Now, for the benefit of the university teachers who are attending this, if you are a university teacher, if you are a college teacher, you might very well know how your college or university will have to address this diverse क्या बोलते हैं, diverse statutory and regulatory agencies. अभी आप एक यूनिवर्सिटी हो तो आपको यूजीसी का कंट्रोल है, आपको मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन का कंट्रोल, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन के डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन का कंट्रोल है. आप एक अफिलिएटेड कॉलेज हो तो आपको वो अफिलिएटिंग यूनिवर्सिटी से बात करना पड़ेगा. If you are autonomous, you have to talk to UGC, and your university has to talk to UGC. अभी आप engineering college हो, affiliated engineering college या polytechnic हो, तो आपको AICT से बात करना पड़ेगा. You have to talk to AICT. You have to talk to the university that is affiliating you as a college or the technical education body of the state that is governing the polytechnics. So क्या बोल रहे हैं कि multiple statutory regulatory agencies are there. Now, if you are a university on the pathway to excellence, see, I am from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, multi-campus university, 6 campuses, 20,000 students. As per NARF ranking, it is ranked 5th in India, and we are the top private university as per several international and national rankings. So it's a huge challenge for us, because we have to look at all the ranking and accreditation agencies. We have to go for NAC accreditation, we have to go for NBA accreditation. We can't help it. So this is a challenge. If you are a polytechnic also, you need to go for several types of accreditations, right? So in India, we have a very unique situation where there is a separate statutory body, separate regulatory body, separate ranking body, separate accreditation body. And we have to grapple. And this NEP will come as a panacea, will become the solution as it talks of how we can integrate everything. Now, as far as the history of the education policy is concerned, there have been several commissions, and we have come to this Kasturi Rangan report approved by the cabinet, passed by the government of India. And there is it is a wonderful vision document. Having said that, I have to be very honest about the fact that the implementation is definitely a challenging aspect. बोलते हैं ना, devil is in the details, right? That's a very popular adage. Devil is in the details. The implementation opens a Pandora's box, because now we have got an excellent vision document in the form of the national education policy. Having said that, now we have to implement the provisos of the national education policy, and it is going to be a bigger challenge in terms of how are you going to merge all these things. How are you going to have different bodies of government, state government, central government talk to each other? And obviously there are political issues also. So let us see the aspects. I think but one very important thing I want to stress upon the NEP is that the NEP is a wonderful vision document. The goal of the NEP is that we have a system by 2040. We have a education system that is one of the best in the world, comparable to US and Western countries, comparable to China and other developing economies. We have an education system that is rooted in the Indian culture, the values, the heritage, the lofty values of our country. We have an education system that each one of us are proud of it. अभी बहुत विजन स्टेटमेंट है ना, मेक इन इंडिया, आत्मनिर्भर भारत, मेक इन इंडिया, startup India. So we have to be proud of our heritage. We have to be proud of our country, and we are seeing the changes. Abhi 16th January has been declared as the National Startup Day by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Why it has happened is, we have to understand that today India is the number 1 or number 2 startup country in this world. It has not just happened by chance or by political compulsion. It has happened by the hard work and the efforts of young Indians who have started startups. And these startups have taken the whole world by storm. And today in 2021, we have 42 different startups that have become unicorns. A unicorn is a company with a $1 billion valuation, 7,500 crores. That is the valuation of that startup. And that is why India is number one or number two. I think it's arguable. Some people say we are number one in startups. Some people will say we are number two in terms of market capitalization. Either way, for one or two, it doesn't matter. We are now arrived as a startup nation, and it's because of our young startup founders, such young entrepreneurs who have taken the whole world by storm. And we have to be proud of it. We have to improve this culture. We have to move towards the next step, as envisaged by our Honorable Prime Minister, a $5 trillion economy, an Atmanirbhar Bharat. And the education system has to be complementing this lofty goal, this lofty ideal of New India, put forth by such a great leader, a visionary leader like our Honorable Prime Minister. So that is what the NEP tries to also complement this effort towards this New India, towards this $5 trillion economy, and so on and so forth. Now, quickly, I will quickly go through the various aspects of the NEP before I go into my topic. Some of the major aspects of the NEP 2020 with regard to higher education are: we are expecting India to reach 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. Now, this is a very big thing, because even in Western countries, the gross enrollment ratio is not 50%. If you take a developing country like US or China, I think the gross enrollment ratio, the GER, may be around 40, 45 or so. So India is expecting that by 2035, the gross enrollment ratio reaches 50%. We have a very flexible curriculum, flexible multidisciplinary curriculum. You can study something for 1 year, you can get a certificate. You study something for 2 years, you may get an associateship. You study for 3 years, you get a degree. You study for 5 years, you get an integrated BTech, MTech. So many options are there. It's a multi-option thing. You know, the bachelor's program can be 3 years or 4 years. Your PG program can be 1 year or 2 years, where the second year can be focused on research. You get an advanced degree. So many options are there. Your credits are freely transferable, in the sense that you do 1 year in one university, you can seamlessly transfer that academic, that you go to the academic bank of credits, and very seamlessly it will move from one university to another university. Those kind of things are there. And a very important thing is, you know, सब faculty जो university में काम करते हैं, complain करते हैं. वो बोलते हैं कि मेरे को 24 आवर का वर्कलोड है, इसके ये हिसाब से एक हफ्ते में 20 या 24 घंटों का वर्कलोड है, स्टूडेंट कांटेक्ट है, और आप बोल रहे हैं मेरे को एक साल में 3 रिसर्च पेपर चाहिए, 4 रिसर्च पेपर चाहिए, 5 रिसर्च पेपर चाहिए, इतना फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट चाहिए. दिस इज an issue that everybody faces. If you are from any higher education institution, you have this pressure. Maybe when you are in a school, your pressure is different. आपको कब 100% रिजल्ट मिलते हैं? 100% बच्चों को रिजल्ट मिलने में you have to do a lot of effort. Not only the normal instruction with the students, you have to do extra classes, you have to do special classes, you have to do activity based learning, you have to do so many things. तो हमारा जो मेन आउटकम है बच्चों को पढ़ाना, बच्चों को अच्छा रिजल्ट मिलने, वही सबसे बड़ा आउटकम है. और ये आउटकम के हिसाब से हमारा पूरा टाइम चलता है. That all of us agree. As a faculty in a university, I also have this problem. Everybody has this problem. We are having 18 to 24 hours of student contact. And on top of it, the college management, the university management will say, where is your research paper? How many funded projects you have got? This is a problem everywhere. So this is creating a mismatch. Some people are there who somehow successfully balance everything. And they are the people, some of them even don't balance. They somehow escape out of teaching. They do some funded project, but they get promotions. Aisa situation sab jagah mein. So the NEP wants to make a distinction. There will be research intensive universities. The research intensive universities, यानी कि उनमें जैसे कि IISc, Indian Institute of Science, they don't have much UG at all. I think one UG program is there, I think, but primarily it is a postgraduate college and a PhD college. If you take Indian Institute of Science, I think they have 3,000 plus PhD scholars, and that they have 1,500 PG students. There are 4,500 to 5,000 is PG and PhD. I think they have a few hundred UG students, but unka jo DNA hai, it is purely research. They are writing high value papers, high impact publications. They are getting a lot of funded projects. They are doing consultancy for the industry. Abhi aap engineering mein aate ho to IIT में भी ऐसा है. लेकिन IIT में ज्यादा बहुत सारे UG students हैं, but still the faculty are involved in a lot of research, in a lot of consultancy, and there are a lot of faculty who teach very little. They teach very little. They are mostly involved in the funded projects, and they have a bare minimal teaching load. एक साल में शायद 2 या 3 कोर्स लेने का है, और वो लेक्चर ही लेने का है. जो सपोर्ट होता है उनके टीचिंग असिस्टेंट्स या रिसर्च असिस्टेंट्स, वो सब करेक्शन वगैरह वगैरह काम करते हैं. काउंसलिंग नहीं, करेक्शन, क्वेश्चन पेपर का जो वैल्यूएशन बेस्ड ऑन द की, वो सब करने के लिए लोग हैं. So they just need to take a few courses. Remaining time they are fully focused. They are fully focused on research. So everybody cannot become an IAAC. If you are in the sciences field, आप IAAC बनना उतना आसान नहीं है. जैसे ही IIT बनना बहुत आसान नहीं है, बहुत मुश्किल है. So what do? We have a clear distinction. You have research universities, multidisciplinary research universities that are fully focused on research. Then you have teaching universities who are primarily focused on teaching, but there are some faculty who are doing research. And then you have a lot of autonomous institutions. These autonomous institutions will be transformed into degree colleges. They will give degrees. अभी आप एक affiliating university देखते हो तो अभी तमिलनाडु में अपना जो टेक्नोलॉजिकल यूनिवर्सिटी है, अन्ना यूनिवर्सिटी, 600 कॉलेजेस को वो एफिलिएट करते हैं. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. आपको मालूम है, हमको भी मालूम है. आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन इन महाराष्ट्र, बट आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मुंबई या यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ पुणे हैज गॉट affiliate lot of colleges that are affiliated to these major universities, arts and science universities. And in the process, what is happening? The faculty inside the university are fully focused on administrative work. They cannot do research. Then the rankings go down because the rankings depend upon research outcomes and so on. So it's a vicious circle. So at least the NEP is now making that distinction. आप तो multidisciplinary research university है, you focus more on research. आप तो teaching intensive university है, you focus on teaching. And over a period of time, now you can do the affiliation. कुछ साल के बाद वो affiliation भी आप छोड़ दो. And degree colleges, autonomous colleges जो अच्छे कुछ सालों से अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं, they can affiliate other colleges. दो दूसरों को मार्गदर्शन दे सकते हैं. So this is the plan that the NEP has, and it will change the entire system. Within 15 years, the complete affiliation system will be going. There will be mentoring, मार्गदर्शन के लिए बहुत सारे लोग होंगे. There will be autonomy. The colleges and universities will become independent, single regulator. यही मेरे को लगता है कि this is the biggest takeaway of the NEP. We are going to have a single regulator for everything. Even now, some dialogue is going on whether medical and law should come under the higher education. मैंने बोला ना, devil is in the details. There is some talk, some discussion that even medical, dental, pharmacy, everything should come under this thing. But the Medical Council of India is not agreeing. The health ministry is not agreeing. Anyway, these things are it will take time. And the plan is that investment in education should be 6% of the GDP, and the investment in research, which I will be talking about in detail, should at least be 1 to 3% of the GDP. I will come to that later. I'll talk about these things. So the other aspects of the NEP is internationalization of education, adding vocational education to the mainstream, giving a vocational minor to main education, having a special education zone, which I will be talking about in detail. Then there is going to be Indian Oriental languages, Pali, Persian, Prakrit, Sanskrit. All these will have a lot of focus. A lot of focus on Indian knowledge, knowledge, language, Indian knowledge systems, languages, culture, heritage, and also promotion of the Indian culture, interpretation, translation, vernacular languages, and so on. This will be there. Lot of use of technology will be there. Technology will be used for everything, for academic administration, whether it is computing your marks of the students, whether it is running the, whether it is the pedagogy for teaching. क्लास लेने में क्लास का जो बच्चों का मार्क और वो जो डिटेल्स है उसको स्टोर करने में, सब में we are going to have technology will be used not only for teaching, learning, pedagogy. It will also be used for academic administration. It will be used for research. It will be used for finance, management, library. Everything will be integrated, and a lot of. I think you had a lot of talks on this. I'm not going to spend more time on that. Virtual labs will be there and so on. I don't want to spend time. Now, school education has been impacted in a very big way. I know many of you are school teachers, so I thought I should do a quick overview of what are the provisions in the NEP. Universalization of early childhood care education is going to be there. National mission on foundational literacy and numeracy. The 10+2 system will be changed into a 5+3+3+4 system. It will be a slightly different style of functioning in terms of school education. आपको जानते हैं ना, first standard से second standard जाते हैं, 6th से 7th, 8th से now ऐसा जाते हैं. It will be slightly different with respect to the school education. There will be a lot of problem solving, mathematical skills, innovation, creativity, computational thinking. All these things will be factored into the school curriculum so that our children become problem solvers, change agents, and so on. There is going to be a lot of flexibility. Abhi bolte hai na, science student, commerce student, all these things will become very interleaved, and rigid separation will go on. There will be a lot of special provisos for the gifted children. The content in terms of delivery, आप बच्चों को देखते हैं ना, बहुत बड़ा school bag है, बहुत 5 kilos का school bag है. All these things will change. It will become much more. The curriculum will become reduced, but at the same time, it will be more focused towards activity driven, focused towards outcomes, and focused also includes some vocational integration. Now, already the committee has been formed for the NCF, for the National Curriculum Framework. The same Dr. Kasturi Rangan is heading this committee also. The final end semester exam will lose its prominence. It will be on continuous evaluation. And there will be more focus on medium of instruction till the local language till 5th standard maybe. And so many things are going to be there. Technology is going to be there. Virtual labs, libraries, virtual libraries, standards, pedagogy, technology, assistive learning, virtual systems. All these is going to come and completely transform school education. Now, I can myself tell you, the number of startups. When my profile was being read, I am involved in school education in a big way in the Niti Ayog's Atal Innovation Mission. I am working in a voluntary capacity. They are not paying me anything. It is more of an honorary position as a regional mentor of change. I am supporting the tinkering labs in the state of Tamil Nadu. There are around 700 tinkering labs. I have a team of people helping. All of them are voluntary. Some of them are college professors. Some of them are university professors. Some of them are entrepreneurs, startup founders. Some of them are even, teachers in colleges. All of them are trying to do something to help the tinkering lab. So there is a very big network of mentors. All these mentors are not paid. They are voluntary. And I'm trying to help that system. And I can see the amount of edtech that is happening. I can see so many people contacting me. मैंने ये software बनाया है computational thinking के लिए. मैंने artificial intelligence और machine learning में ये software बनाया है schools के लिए. आपको virtual simulator lab में बना सकता हूँ. All across the map we see so many edtech companies coming for school education. So things are changing and the reforms are definitely going to set in. And we have to adapt ourselves. जो भी है, हम college teacher हो, school teacher हो, university teacher हो, हमारा काम क्या है? हम adapt करना चाहे. We have to adapt quickly. We have to adapt ourselves to the change. The only permanent thing in life is change. तो इस हिसाब से हमें क्या करना है? We have to change. We have to adapt ourselves. We cannot be rigid. And this goes for everybody. Whether you are a school teacher or a university teacher, you have to adapt. Only then you can survive in today's world. Okay, I'm just going directly to my topic. Okay. Yeah. Now the major. Just give me a minute. Air conditioner is not working properly. So now coming to the two major areas of the topics that I have been asked to cover, the new National Research Foundation and the Special Education Zone. These are the two topics that have been assigned to me. Now, as a researcher, अभी आप यूनिवर्सिटी में काम करते हो या नहीं तो कॉलेज में काम करते हो, whether you are a higher education teacher, one thing we see is that getting funded projects is a very big challenge. ये एक यूनिवर्सल प्रॉब्लम है. अभी आप किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी में काम करते हो, किसी भी कॉलेज में काम करते हो, फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट मिलना मुश्किल ही नहीं, नामुमकिन जैसा हो गया है. अब 10 प्रपोजल भेजो, एक के लिए आपको रिव्यू मिलेगा, वो मिलने में भी बहुत डिफिकल्टी है. इट इज अ फैक्ट. क्योंकि क्या है कि डिफरेंट एजेंसीज आर देयर. दीज एजेंसीज डोंट टॉक टू ईच अदर. They are all different. Indian Space Research Organization को उनका requirements है. DRDO, Defense Research and Development Labs को उनका requirements है. और DST, Department of Science and Technology को उनका requirements है. So ये सब बहुत diverse requirements है. There are different diverse agencies. All these agencies generally do not talk to each other. They have their own requirements. They have their own issues. Abhi, as you know, the space program, we are looking for manned space program, going to Mars, going to the moon. Their requirements are diverse from DST. DST is probably making a database of Indian knowledge system. That is now one of their focus areas. So many agencies are there. There is a lot of focus on innovation. There is a lot of focus on using the industry funding to improve the research and so on. So there are major challenges, and all university and college teachers know this issue. If you want to get आपको promotion चाहिए, you want to get a promotion, you need to show some research outcomes. The research outcome could be in terms of funded projects. It could be in terms of patents, could be in terms of research papers, highly cited publications. And these are the things that are, क्या बोलते हैं? These are the things that get you promotions. It's a fact. In any top university, this is the issue. In any college also, you will find many of the promotions are based on research outcomes. I myself complained at times because more than a decade I have been focusing on rankings and accreditation, and my profile was that I have done 3 cycles of NAC accreditation. But instead of doing this work, if I had just sat and written 5 high impact papers, it would have been easier. Rather than spending a lot of my time on travel from one campus to another campus, navigating through these regulatory agencies and statutory bodies, I could have sat in my department, set up a lab and written 5 top highly cited papers. I would have got the same promotion. So this is how life is. People say, life is unfair, get used to it. So there is definitely now one major issue here is because all these international ranking agencies, all the international accreditation agencies, to a large extent, the national ranking agencies and national accreditation agencies focus on research, because only through research you get outcomes, you get technology, you get innovation. And because of this research, the innovation comes. The technology comes. The idea is converted into a prototype. The prototype is converted into a product. A product is converted into a startup. And the startup gives jobs, becomes a bigger company, starts giving jobs to many people. Only then the country can go. The economy of a country depends upon this. And in such a situation, you need to focus on research. And all the international rankings, as I mentioned, just focus on research. So India has to move ahead in these things. And what do you do? And plus on top of it, there is also this focus on UN Sustainable Development Goals. The 16 or 17 UN SDG. The country is measured how much you are focusing on these UN Sustainable Development Goals, right? How much you are moving towards that. Whether it is education, whether it is healthcare, how is your GER improving, how is your healthcare improving? And you need technology, you need innovation, you need research for all these. So definitely research is the focus. There is no doubt about it. All universities, colleges are moving towards research. It has not so much impacted school education as of now, but believe me, that is also going to happen. And now we have come to a digital transformation. There is so much of technology moving around. Digital transformation has affected. We are looking at smart education, smart healthcare, smart buildings, smart car, smart aeroplane, smart logistics, smart factory. Everything is smart. You need to leverage AI, artificial intelligence. बोलते हैं कि AI plus X. अपने स्लाइड में मैंने लिखा है AI plus X. X can be anything. AI आपको मालूम है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है, लेकिन ये AI plus X है. X can be anything. X is not computer science. X is not only mechanical engineering. X is not civil engineering. X is not electrical engineering. X is not only electronics engineering. X is culture. X is Hindi. X is Marathi. X is Malayalam. X is Tamil. X is Telugu. X is law. X is agriculture. Anything and everything, you are now having artificial intelligence enabling the technology. Anything and everything. And you need to develop research. You need to drive innovation. You need to leverage technology. Only then you need to leverage AI, artificial intelligence. Only then India can move ahead. And no doubt, all these international ranking agencies look at research. So we have to improve research. And I have already told you there is a challenge. Now, very interesting to note that research and innovation investment in India is just 0.69% of the GDP. This is including industry. अपना जो इंडस्ट्री भी है वो तो उतना रिसर्च नहीं करते हैं. उनके प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट के लिए कुछ ना कुछ रिसर्च तो करते ही है, लेकिन वो बहुत छोटा परसेंटेज है. पूरा लेकर आप एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस ले लो, IIT ले लो, IISc ले लो, CSIR लैब्स ले लो, DST ले लो, DBT ले लो, आप इंडस्ट्री का जो रिसर्च विंग्स ले लो, सब मिलाकर 0.69% ऑफ GDP ही होते हैं. ये सब बराबर 0.69% ही होते हैं. If you compare to US, it is almost 2.8%. इसराइल में 4.3% है. South Korea में 4.2% है यार. And I don't need to tell you, Israel of course उनको एक security problem भी है. They are surrounded by enemies, so they have to always be on top. But if you see South Korea, why is South Korea having such huge conglomerates that are doing so well? Because they have developed very good research infrastructure. Abhi, when you look at publications also, the same issue is there. Research publications. India's share is very less across all disciplines, which is 4.35%. Engineering में थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा है, 6.75%. बहुत ज़्यादा engineering colleges और polytechnics इंडिया में आए हैं, तो थोड़ा सा ऊपर हो गया. Of course, उसमें बहुत सारे useless journals भी हैं, फिर भी 6.75% है. Pharmacy is 5.35%. मैनेजमेंट और कम है, 3.93% है. और आप देख लो तो HCP, that is highly cited publication, बहुत लेस है. मेरे को लगता है I think it is less than 1%. The Indian share of all highly cited papers, publications is less than 1%. So there is some problem. There is a culture of research is not there in our universities. और मैंने बोला वो reason भी मैंने आपको बोला. If I am Anna University is the technological university affiliating 600 colleges in Tamil Nadu. If I am Vishwesvaraya Technological University, VTU, the affiliating university for more than 600 or 700 colleges in Karnataka. I'm not very sure how the system is in Maharashtra and all, but these affiliating universities are completely lost of their culture of innovation because they have to run the affiliation. लाखों बच्चों के लिए they have to run the lakhs of students, they have to run the exams, they have to manage these colleges, they have to have processes to affiliate these colleges, they have to have inspections, they have to look at the quality control. And where will you get time to do research? Where will you get time? You are completely either teaching this many hours got, then you are having administrative task after task, you will not get any time. And that is why you find out that many of these affiliating universities, the research outcome has become almost zero. Yes, there are a few people have. I know in Anna University, there are a few centers of research who never accept any of these professors, never accept any of these affiliating jobs. उधर inspection के लिए जाओ, OD में आपको पैसा भी मिलेगा, they'll never go. You go to 5 colleges in the south of, in the west part of Tamil Nadu, that is in Coimbatore Road. You go to 5 colleges for 5 days, you may get a good amount of money for just going and inspecting the colleges. Many of these people never go. They focus on their research centers and their projects, but that's a very small percentage. So universities are completely grappling with administrating, affiliating tasks. The culture of research has completely become negligible, not permeated down to the faculty. Faculty are also getting involved in this teaching administrative work. And what is happening? Research is coming down. And not only that, on the other side, there is another challenge. As a faculty, there is a challenge. मैंने आपको बोला ना, आपको इतना क्लास है, इतना एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव वर्क है, वो बच्चों का काउंसलिंग करने का है, स्पोर्ट्स डे कोऑर्डिनेट करने का है, काउंसलिंग करने का है, वगैरह वगैरह बहुत सारे काम है. उसके ये करने के बाद आपको फंडिंग भी चाहिए, रिसर्च पेपर भी. इट इज एक्सट्रीमली डिफिकल्ट. तो टू सम एक्सटेंट NRF विल चेंज दिस. तो NRF क्या करेगा? इट विल ऑल द रिसर्च एजेंसीज, इंडस्ट्री, गवर्नमेंट, जो भी फंडिंग है, whether it is DST, DBT, DRDO, ISRO, Microsoft, Tata, all these, this is the goal. This is the goal, is that every research thing will come under the umbrella. Everything will come under the umbrella of the NRF, the National Research Foundation. And the NRF will serve like a via media between the educational institutions, universities, colleges, schools, and with the industry, government, and the city. And NRF will be independent of government. That means there will be no biases. It will be an independent committee. It will fund all kind of proposals. It will be doing it unbiased, so that everybody and anybody gets access to funds. So if you are a faculty, you want to do research, even though you are having teaching, you apply to the NRF, the chances of getting a fund is much higher rather than going on your own. You go to DRDO, he will ask you, आपको कितने scopus publication है? आप DST जाओ तो वो बोलेगा मेरे पास, तो आप DST जाओ, वो बोलेंगे यार मेरे को scopus नहीं चाहिए, आपको Web of Science में कितना पेपर है? ये सब agencies, they have different yardsticks. I know, I have faced this issue. One agency will say Scopus, another agency will say, no, I want Web of Science. Another agency will say, I only want high impact papers. You give me only the impact factor papers. What to do? Where do I go? I can waste my time applying from one place to another. I apply for 10, I may get 1. Now that may change. The NRF will become a facilitating agency where we'll be able to address most of the requirements across disciplines. And as a one-stop, definitely this will be efficient. So NRF will competitively fund research. There will be competition, but your chances will be much higher. Rather than you going to DRDO, DST, DBT, ISRO, you can just go to NRF and make a good proposal. As per the requirements, you stand a better chance. So the chances are that more people will be funded, more research will be funded. We will move towards a better knowledge society. More research happens, more innovation will happen, more technology development will happen, more prototypes will come. When more prototypes will come, more products will be formed, more startups will come. So this is a positive thing. And the NRF will also work towards a knowledge society, leveraging artificial intelligence, digital technologies, transformation. It will work towards that. It will also focus on multidisciplinary pursuits, interdisciplinary pursuits, how you can integrate. I mean, AI plus X. X can be anything. X can be Marathi. How to improve the phonemes in Marathi language. How to build an allophone of Marathi language. Why not? Leverage AI, right? Focus on Indian culture, Indian values, Indian languages, Indian traditions, Indian heritage. Have better technology. Have better innovation. Have better pedagogy, better labs, virtual labs. Focus on art. ये अपना जो बोलते हैं ना, arts, humanities, sciences, technology, computer science, ये सब, everything will vanish. This silos, we live in silos. Abhi mere ko, I'm just giving you an example. You know, around 4-5 years back, ye Computer Society of India, I was the national student coordinator. करीब 600 कॉलेजेस में कंप्यूटर सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया का चैप्टर है, तो वो सब अपने कंट्रोल में था. It was under my watch, and I was helping many colleges start Computer Society of India chapters, student chapters. As a result, we got a lot of funding, we got lot of MOUs, value-added courses, certification programs, so many things we could do for the student community as a whole. One college came and told me, sir, I am from this college. I should not name the college. I already have a Computer Society of India chapter that is run by the CSE department. I am IT department. I want a separate Computer Society of India chapter. I cannot work with those people. This is how, see, what is the difference between computer science and IT? It is the same. Or 99.9% computer science and IT are the same, one and all. And he is telling me in his own college, he cannot work with the computer science field. I told him, I'm very sorry, you don't deserve. Even your existing chapter, I will cut off, because if that fellow is not letting you join the chapter, then I will cut your chapter out of the Computer Society, because it is same field, two departments are working, they can't talk to each other. Then you imagine different fields are in different silos. We have to get out of the silo mindset, and that will happen when multidisciplinary research will be. If I am a computer science professor, I will be the most excited person if I can do something in Malayalam or Tamil translation literature, so it can help the culture. I'll be so happy, right? So that kind of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary mindset will come. The NRF will fund, it will focus on quality, quantity, it will focus on helping the teachers. So more and more faculty will get funded projects, and obviously it will help their career, they'll get promotions and so on. So this is a huge, what should I say, outcome that is going to come from this National Research Foundation. And there will be a force multiplier effect on funding, on research, on industry support. All these things are going to be, so the NRF will be, the National Research Foundation will be the via media. It will integrate all the research agencies, the government agencies, research agencies, the national missions. You know, there is Digital India, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, so many, there's so much of funding. Niti Aayog has so much of funding. All that will come under one umbrella, that is the NRF. It will also include industry. So industry will also talk to NRF. Say, I want this. And the NRF will become the umbrella for all faculty and colleges and universities and schools to apply for funding. You will not believe the amount of money, because many schools faculty are there in this audience. The amount of money Intel, Microsoft, big IT companies have given a lot of money for school education in their CSR, corporate social responsibility. And they are on the lookout for good projects. Believe me, they want people who can take it up, but they are not finding that many people to fund. But then you have to be proactive. You have to be fully behind them. They are very busy. You have to be behind them. They have a lot of fund for CSR through school education. They are willing to fund, but you have to identify the right partner, the right technology. You have to do a lot of homework. You have to be proactive, but they are having so much of budgets for the corporate social responsibility, but people are not leveraging. That is a sorry state of affairs. Okay, now I'm coming to the special economic, special education. So just give me 1 minute. So we have seen the National Research Foundation. Now we are coming into the special education zone, which falls under the chapter 6, which is equitable and inclusive education, learning for all. So the national education policy has made a very critical classification of the socially and economically disadvantaged groups. The classification is in 5 different categories. One is, of course, gender, mainly female, and to some extent, for the first time, these transgenders have been included in the classification. Second is social cultural identities, that is scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, minorities. I think in Hindi we say Pidit, Soshit, Vanchit. I hope that is correct. So that is the second thing, socio-cultural identities, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, minorities. Geographical identities, people from smaller villages, small villages, small towns, and aspirational districts. Out of the 715 plus 725 districts in India, all over India, I believe 200 plus are aspirational. They are yet to be developed in terms of the socio-economic indicators by the NEP. These 200 plus districts need to be developed. That is an aspirational district. So that is another aspect to the classification. Fourth is disabilities, people with learning disabilities, handicaps, and all those things. The fifth one is socio-economic conditions, migrant laborers, low-income households, children in vulnerable situations, trafficking, orphans, beggars, street children, all those kind of things. So this is a 5-stage classification by the National Education Policy on socially and economically disadvantaged groups, SCDG. Number 1, gender, females and transgenders. Number 2, socio-economic identities, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, minorities, OBCs. Geographical identities, students from villages, small towns, and aspirational districts. Disabilities, people with physical and handicaps. And finally, socio-economic conditions, migrant laborers who are in this place and so on, low-income households, trafficking, orphans, all these kind of children who are suffered. And so this 5-step classification is there for socially and so the idea is the NEP wants to have a focus to address these kind of socially and economically disadvantaged sections of the society. Now, how do you address them? Number 1, there are already several strategies that were there. There have been strategies that have helped many of these sections in the past. So the NEP focuses on how to leverage these strategies. Number one, bicycles and toilets for girls, especially in the schools. School education, people will agree with me that, separate toilets for girls, bicycles for girls have really made a change, and that has helped in GER also. School education, the coverage increasing a lot because of this. With respect to the other disabilities, technology, in rural areas, using tabs, using tablets for education, going to the remote villages, tribal hamlets and all that have really helped. So many strategies have been there, getting infrastructure, technology interventions, assistive technologies for the disabled, open schooling for some of these Pidit, Vanchit, Soshit, all these kind of things, home tutoring. So many strategies are there. Now the goal of the NEP is, can you combine all of these strategies that you have developed independently for all these different socially and economically disadvantaged sections into a special education zone? There is a special economic zone, Mumbai SEEPs, that is Vashi, somewhere in Mumbai. There is a special economic zone. It's as though you can do business as though you are in a foreign country. No Indian tax. You have a lot of tax concessions and all. Like as though you are in a foreign country, you can do business in these special economic zones. It's like foreign territory. To the extent that people are worried that whenever China sets up a special economic zone, they also ferment a lot of problems there in that special economic zone. It becomes like a foreign country. They inject their culture, they put their military people there, and all these issues were also there. But what I'm saying is, that is a concept of a special economic zone. In the economic zone, the country, the laws of the country are not there. It is fully free. It is a place for business with all limited regulations of the country and like an international community. That is the idea. Same way, special education zone means all these aspects and strategies, initiatives are brought under one umbrella. And that umbrella is the special education zone. So for all these socially and economically disadvantaged people, there will be a special education zone. These special education zone will have policy schemes that are implemented where all these are interconnected. They are interconnected with each other so that all these sections are taken care. So it will include hostels, free hostels. It will include a school education system which may not be identical to the others, but at the same time, these children, once they complete the +2, they can go for any higher educational system. There will be a gender inclusion fund so that to promote transgenders, girls, students. The existing interventions like JNV, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas, Kendriya Vidyalayas will be strengthened. They are central schemes. Similarly, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalayas for girls, that will be strengthened. And on top of it, all these policy strategies will, these special education zones will become centers of excellence, excellent hostels, excellent libraries, excellent boarding facility, laboratories, ambience, technology in virtual systems, technology assistive learning centers of excellence. And there will be a concerted program for developing a class of special educators. These special educators are the ones who will be trained to address these kind of people, and there will be a center of excellence. There will be a lot of trainer things, and all these will come under one umbrella. And technology will be an underlying thing. So anybody with a physical or mental disability, there will be a lot of technologies, assistive technologies, braille, all these things will be there. Textbooks, library books will be available in the formats that are friendly for these disabled folks. There will be a mission on Indian Sign Language. Now there are many sign languages. India is having its own sign language. How to promote this sign language into a big center of excellence, develop the technology, develop the libraries, develop the devices that will be there. Special educators, there will be a center for, like a center of excellence for sports is there in Patiala. Similarly, there will be a center of excellence for special education, so that these people will be trained, they will be having career progression. Probably they will be setting up a university for special education. That is the plan. And alternate forms of school. So these children, even though they go through this stream, they will be easily accessible to higher education. They will be on par with the others who do +2 and go for engineering or medicine and so on. There will also be co-curricular activities, NCC units, NSS units, outreach activities in these special schools. In the special education zone, there will be scholarships, there will be free lodging, there will be very good state-of-the-art libraries, better technology development for the teaching, the learning, and also a new assessment center, National Assessment Center, PARAK, which will formulate the guidelines for conducting the special assessment for these special education needs. So this is a very major intervention that is going to come. So in other words, a complete umbrella, a special education zone is basically an umbrella where all these special education needs, special education for all the 5 different socially and economically disadvantaged communities, whether there is gender, whether there is caste, scheduled tribe, and other socio-cultural identities, whether it is you are from a town or a small town or a village or an aspirational district, whether you are from a migrant laborer, whether you are a person with who has been affected by some sort of trafficking, whether you are having some handicap, some disability, all these will come under the umbrella. And the special education zone is going to be an umbrella where all of these will be promoted, will have policies, there will be centers of excellence. There will be something like a big university. A special education zone will be like a university with all the facilities, excellent infrastructure, Wi-Fi, computer labs, which are which are friendly for disabled people, friendly for all these people, free hostels, free lodging, a lot of curricular activities, extracurricular activities, clubs, and school also there will be a separate part. But at the end of that school, alternate school education, these children will be ready, will be trained to go for higher education. They can go for medicine, engineering, arts, humanities, and so on. So that is the huge, and there will be a lot of funding support in terms of the gender inclusion fund. The existing things will also be covered. I mean, maybe already there are a lot of Kendriya Vidyalayas, JNVs, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas. All of these will be in a very big way. They will be promoted. They will be enhanced. They will be strengthened. And so that is the focus. The idea is learning for all, and especially the ones in the socially and economically disadvantaged groups. So summing up my talk, yeah, that's all. That's my, I'm wonderful. Summing up my talk, both NRF, National Research Foundation, and Special Education Zone are game changers. The NRF, the National Research Foundation, will be an umbrella where all research from industry, from government, from academia, from research labs, from industry, everything will be combined in an umbrella zone, and that will be provided easily, free of access, seamlessly to college, school, and university teachers. The special education zone, on the other hand, will be a center of excellence, maybe a multi university, which will combine all the strategies, initiatives, policies for the socially and economically disadvantaged sections of society in a single umbrella, and provide them with the kind of training, the teaching, the wherewithal, the facility, the ambience, the infrastructure, the pedagogy, the computers, the scholarships, the library, everything, so that they can also move into the next level, to the next bracket. And all of this will help India towards the thing. So as a whole, both NRF and the special education zone will complement, supplement, and amalgamate into the major outcomes of the NEP 2020. Universalization of education to secondary education by 2030, so that everybody in India gets access to higher secondary education, and at least half of them go for higher education, giving them the skills of basic skills. Even though you're not gone for higher education, you have the skills, the foundations, the basics, the fundamentals in terms of learning and numeracy. Achieving secondary level GER, gross enrollment, by 2030, and maybe 50% by in higher education by 2035. Bringing back 2 crore students out of school to school education, inside school education, having a good training program in such a way that the faculty are trained, the faculty are multi-skilled, the faculty are technology savvy, the faculty are always improving themselves, having a vision and a culture of innovation and research. The idea is that, to develop the vocational, the computational, the problem solving skills. So the NRF and the special education zone both will play a very important role in this this path towards these major outcomes of NEP. I think that's all. I have finished a little ahead of schedule. I'll be happy to answer any number of questions if you have. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, participants, anyone want to ask any question from sir?
Yeah, one more thing I wanted to just add. See, the NEP is a great vision document, no doubt. It's a wonderful vision document, but it's not an easy journey towards the implementation. As I mentioned earlier, no, devil is in the details. Going into each minute detail, each chapter, how to focus on the implementation. It's already started. Now 1 year has happened and some things have already happened, but it is not going to be a very fast journey. It will take some time. Perhaps at least a decade it will take to completely operationalize the vision of the NEP. Some things may happen in 2 years, some things may happen in 3 years, some things may happen in 5 years, and so on. Just 1 minute. I need to plug my power into this. Just hold on. There's no power here. Yeah, any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, anyone from participants? Sir, the questions they have written in the chat box.
Yeah, the charge almost went off. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, some our participants have written some question in the chat box.
Yeah, you can moderate and ask me. I will try to answer.
Yes, sir. First question is from Iman John, sir. What kind of demands on teacher or facilitators do you invase? Or what challenges do you expect? Or one more question is there from same sir. Are there likely to be regional disparities despite a single regulatory authority? So,
see, I'll answer the second question first. See, regional disparities may continue in some way or the other. See, I will give you an example. In Tamil Nadu, there are 600 engineering colleges. In Bihar, there may be 30 or 40. Things are changing, but it will take some time before the regional disparities will change. But at least when this national regulator is coming, at least many of these disparities will reduce. That's what I feel. But there is bound to be some sort of disparity. See, there is also other factors. Availability of manpower, availability of technical manpower is another challenge also. You need people also. If you are starting medical colleges and engineering colleges, you need faculty also to teach them. So those issues may be there, but over a period of time, they will vanish. The first question, what should the teachers do? See, there is no magic mantra. There is no magic mantra for any of these things. Nobody can predict the future. But having said that, there is no recipe that, you do all these things, you'll grow. Nothing like that. Things are changing, situation is changing, ecosystem is changing, people are changing, policies are changing. But the one thing you can do is two things you can do. As a teacher, you can adapt fast. You can be responsive to change. You can champion the change. And you go on, you are adaptable, you champion the change, you embrace the change, the chances of your success will be much higher. As they say, fortune favors the brave, right? You are brave enough, you adapt yourself, you change yourself, you become, embrace the change, you go with the flow, you are adaptable, you are ready to unlearn, relearn. I'm again repeating, unlearning and relearning, both you have to do. Then things will be definitely you do your part, fortune will favor you, number one. Number two, you can be very savvy with technology. If you are not, it is high time that you become as savvy as possible with technology, because technology is going to be ubiquitous. Technology is only going to enhance more and more. So these are the two things that you can do as a teacher, according to me.
Okay, sir, one more question is there from Jerlin Churchill. In Maharashtra, 11 and 12th are in junior. So how will they come under school?
See, that's what I'm trying to say. This is going to be that 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. See, how the government is going to do that, to be very honest, I do not know. And there may be, I do not know, there may be some political compulsions also in these things. The existing, I'll give you an example. NEET exam. All of us know NEET is you may argue for or against, but NEET is a game changer. Earlier, what was happening is there was a lot of capitation fee. Now, capitation fee is not there, but the colleges may be charging high fees. I'm not denying that, but they are not charging any black money. So NEET has changed medical education in a big way. At least now everything is transparent. Yes, if you go to a private medical college, you have to pay 20 lakhs. You go to a government, you have to pay 1 lakh. That difference, you are knowing. So there is the black money has definitely completely vanished from the system with respect to capitation fees. Same way, there are a lot of political compulsions. Even today, I'm basically a Malayali based in Coimbatore, which is Tamil Nadu. Even today, the government of Tamil Nadu is totally against NEET. The chief minister has, there was a function last week where 11 medical colleges were inaugurated in Tamil Nadu, especially in the backward and aspirational districts. In front of everybody, the chief minister of Tamil Nadu requested the prime minister that for cultural concerns, you have to exempt Tamil Nadu out of NEET. So these kind of issues will be there. How they are going to do it, I wouldn't know how they are going to manage. But the idea is everybody will come into that 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else from participants? Sir, they are also planning to open new universities also. So what do you say?
Yeah, that is going to happen, and in fact, it is going to be an even playing field. Foreign universities will be allowed to start campuses in India. What will happen is a foreign university will register in India like a deemed to be university or a private university, and they will also be allowed to start campuses in India. Because if you don't, now there are plus or minuses in this. People say, yes, Swadeshi versus Videshi, but at the same time, if India has to reach GER, gross enrollment ratio of 50% by 2035, these foreign universities are also needed. So it's going to happen whether we like it or not. So more and more universities will be allowed to start for sure. Okay. Many foreign universities are going to come, but they may not be the top ones. I don't see Harvard or Stanford coming to India and starting a campus, because Harvard and Stanford in America have complete freedom. If they come to in India and become a deemed to be university or an institution of eminence, there are still a lot of government regulations that you have to follow. They may not come, but some tier 2, tier 3 American, European universities may come. 1 or 2 good universities may also come. I am told University of Arizona, that's a very good university. They want to start campuses in India. I heard somewhere they were telling and all.
Okay, okay. Sir, Priya Sawant madam has raised her hand.
हाँ बोलिए
So,
प्रिया मैम बोलिए.
मैम आप unmute.
हाँ बात
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, sir. Sir, how it reach to the grassroots level? See, it is happening on the cities, or we can say on the.
Ma'am, can you speak a little loudly, ma'am?
हाँ हाँ सर, अगर ये सब चीजें ग्रासरूट लेवल पे कैसे पहुंचेगी? अब तो हम लोग शहर में हैं, हम शहर तक जो शहरें हैं उनको पता है यूनिवर्सिटीज और रिसर्च फाउंडेशन है ना. व्हाट अबाउट द ग्रासरूट लेवल?
नहीं मैम, अभी ग्रासरूट लेवल में भी कोई कॉलेज होगा ना. अभी जो आप किसी भी जगह जाओ, मैं 1 महीने पहले ये तमिलनाडु में एक बैकवर्ड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है बोली के नागपट्टनम, आपको मालूम है? उधर ये सुनामी का मैक्सिमम इम्पैक्ट हुआ था 20 साल पहले, 15 साल पहले, सॉरी. तो ये नागपट्टनम तमिलनाडु का एक सबसे बैकवर्ड डिस्ट्रिक्ट है. उधर का जो भी मेन लाइवलीहुड फिशरमैन है. अभी क्या हो रहा है कि ये नागपट्टनम में अभी एक फिशरीज यूनिवर्सिटी गवर्नमेंट ने शुरू किया है. उधर तो एक एक्सेस हो गया, नंबर 1. अभी उधर 2-3 आर्ट्स कॉलेज और इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज है, मेरे को नाम मालूम नहीं. हमारा यूनिवर्सिटी का एक स्कूल है, हमारा ट्रस्ट का स्कूल है. मैं उधर एक करियर काउंसलिंग के गया था, तो उधर एक अच्छा कॉलेज है. मैं वो कॉलेज विजिट किया था, मैंने वो कोई टॉक के लिए उधर देखा, तो दे हैव वेरी गुड फैसिलिटी. तो ये जो रूरल एरियाज में कॉलेजेस है, उनको दे हैव सम minimum levels of excellence and they have the facility infrastructure, they may be allowed to become autonomous degree granting colleges, and they may be able to start more institutions, affiliate institutions. So that is the plan, because you will not be able to start everywhere. So even rural grassroots area में थोड़ा बहुत तो होंगे ही. That is what the plan is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, anyone else? सर मैं पूछ सकती हूँ, बिकॉज बहुत लोग ये जानना चाह रहे थे कि बिकॉज हमारे पास टाइम है, व्हाट विल बी द फ्यूचर ऑफ पॉलिटेक्निक अकॉर्डिंग टू यू इन NEP 2020?
फ्यूचर ऑफ व्हाट मैम?
पॉलिटेक्निक इंस्टीट्यूशंस, डिप्लोमा कॉलेजेस.
ये बहुत $1,000,000 क्वेश्चन है, क्योंकि
यस,
अभी मेरे को क्या लगता है कि ये मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन है, ये अपना यूनिवर्सिटी का ओपिनियन नहीं है, मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन है.
yes.
शायद ये मेन स्ट्रीमिंग ऑफ वोकेशनल होने वाला है.
ओके,
यानी कि आप इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ो तो आपको कोई वोकेशनल स्किल चाहिए, राइट?
यस सर.
सो शायद ये पॉलिटेक्निक्स अभी क्या हो सकता है कि these polytechnics anyways they are becoming slowly, they are reducing. Am I right?
Yes sir.
All over India we are seeing polytechnics they're becoming less and less subscribed to, because people have got access to higher education.
Yes.
Right? So what may happen is that these polytechnics can become something like feeder centers for the engineering colleges to provide them with the vocational skill. They can transform them into satellite campuses for vocational education for the colleges. ऐसा ही मेरे को लगता है. Otherwise they will become sooner than later irrelevant.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Any participants? Anyone? किसी को कोई question पूछना है सर से? Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and your session was really very informative and really basically on National Research Foundation. All our doubts were cleared. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, participants. Pratish sir, can we end the meeting now? Hello. Thank you. Hello.
So one more thing, I just add my.
Yes, sir.
I'm not getting the chat. It's dancing. Okay. प्रतीक जी, आप मेरा जो कांटेक्ट डिटेल्स है ना सबको, सब पार्टिसिपेंट्स पे दे दो, अपना जो ईमेल आईडी है, तो यू कैन इजीली फाइंड मी ऑन सोशल मीडिया ऑल्सो. अपना एक नया, ये बहुत नया यूट्यूब चैनल है, ये जो नाम आप देख रहे हैं ना, उसी नाम से एक यूट्यूब चैनल है. PRASHANT space R space NAIR, Nair. तो
Okay,
यही
sir.
नाम में एक YouTube चैनल और Facebook पेज है. You can follow the Facebook page and also take the channel. So channel में अपना जो सब lectures होते हैं ना, all of them are in English, but you can follow and get
Okay.
there are a lot of lectures on NAC, NBA, IQAC and also computer science technologies.
सर कोई
So
मैडम ने अभी
beneficial
हैंड
participate.
रेज किया था, अभी उन्होंने हैंड रेज डाउन किया है. मैडम यू कैन आस्क मैं प्रतीक सर को बोलती हूँ, वो आपका लिंक वो डाल देंगे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे.
हाँ.
आई थिंक प्रतीक सर. यस, एनीवन हु वांट टू आस्क एनी क्वेश्चन? शोभा मैडम ने शायद हैंड रेज किया था.
हाँ मैडम, मैं थोड़ी बाहर हूँ लेकिन आवाज का बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, इसके लिए मैंने एंगेज किया.
Okay.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर.
Okay. Namaskar. All the best. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर,
Good
थैंक यू.
day. Stay
ओके,
safe.
थैंक यू पार्टिसिपेंट्स.